Coming up on today's show, we are going to run through the Falcons' Week 1 depth chart for the Carolina Panthers. There are some surprises that might catch your eye, and then there's some obvious rooms, starting like the quarterback room, right, which has Desmond Ridder as QB1, Taylor Heineke as QB2, and Logan Woodside as the third stringer. We know this is Desmond Ridder's team, and this really deserves no more airtime. This is no surprise by any means. So Desmond Ridder, QB1. We're behind you, Desmond. We need you. Say something nice about Desmond Ridder. I think he's going to do very well on Sunday. Say something nice about Desmond Ridder. Now, what I need from everyone watching right now, though, is to like the video. Because if you want to beat the Panthers on Sunday, don't jinx it. Don't leave it up to chance. Atlanta has had some tough sledding in Week 1 as of late. What is it, 5 straight years of losing? Let's start turning that around by liking the video. Because otherwise, YouTube's going to send me the entire email of everyone that watched the video that did not like. And I'm going to publicly out you. Don't be that guy. Moving on to the running back room, and initially in the preseason, Bijan was like RB3 or 4, and now he is where he's going to be for the rest of his time in Atlanta. RB1 ahead of Tyler Algier and Keith Smith at fullback. So you might be thinking to yourself, Matthew, I think you got something wrong. You forgot Cordarrelle Patterson. Oh, no. Au contraire. I did not forget Cordarrelle Patterson, because Cordarrelle Patterson, he's not a running back. He's a joker. And I literally mean that. Cordarrelle Patterson is the joker on this offense, because he is listed, no joke, as a joker. He is listed under J, which when I saw that initially, my first reaction was, I feel really embarrassed. I have no idea what J is. Like, Z and Y, those are some deep cuts for depth charts, but J, never heard of. Oh, yeah, he's just anything you want him to be. He is the ultimate wild card. He's like Charlie in Always Sunny, where he just cuts the brakes off on the van. Wild card. That's Cordarrelle Patterson. He's a joker. I don't know how you game plan for the guy. Is he a kick returner? Is he a running back? Is he a wide receiver? Yes. So let's spam those J's in the chat for Cordarrelle Patterson right now. Let's let him know that the Dirty Birds are behind him, because he is the best ambassador a team could ever ask for. He goes to teams, and then he's there like he's been with them for his entire career, and he is always vouching for them. So, Cordarrelle Patterson, we got your back, dude. Spam those J's down in the comment section below. As for the Falcons wide receiver room, we usually put, 3 to 4 pictures on screen, but we're just going to roll with 2 right now, Drake London and Mack Hollins, because those are going to be the 2 wide receivers that see most of the snaps. I don't expect a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, right? I don't expect a lot of 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Drake London and Mack Hollins are going to be on the field a bunch. There's going to be a lot of 2 tight end sets, 2 running back sets. You can expect to see a lot of formations where Bijan's in the slot, Tyler Algier's in the backfield, Drake London and Mack Hollins are split out wide. And that's the package, right? That's the offense right there. They are not going to put an extra receiver on the field like Josh Ali or Kaderil Hodge just for the sake of having a 3rd wide receiver on. They're going to get their best 11 players on offense on the field, and Tyler Algier and Cordarrelle Patterson are better players than Kaderil Hodge and Josh Ali. So you're going to see a lot of just 2 wide receiver sets and some multiple running backs and tight ends on the field. And with that, let's go over to the tight end room now, which has Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith as your top 2 tight ends. Michael Pruitt and John Fitzpatrick are your 2 backups. Very excited to see, and honestly a little bit nervous to see what Kyle Pitts has in store for us this season. I would like to have seen more, reps in the preseason between Desmond Ridder and Kyle Pitts to get that downfield chemistry that we talked about on the show. But we're just going to have to wait and see if those 2 can kind of figure out a little bit on the fly. Now, before we get to the rest of the depth charts here, today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Stop stressing about buying tickets to go see your favorite events. And with Game Time, they reduce that stress. They eliminate it, because it is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Plus, they have killer deals on last-minute tickets with the best price guarantee. Now, you can actually see what your seat looks like thanks to Game Time. So there's no surprises when you sit down and you're like, there's a big pole in front of me. I wish that I knew that before I bought my ticket. No, with Game Time, you actually get to see what you'll be seeing at the game. Plus, when you use our promo code FalconsChat, you get $20 off. There's no deal like this out there right now. And I know I used it when I went on my little boys trip last week with producer Rolly and some other guys here at Chat Sports for the UNC South Carolina game in Charlotte. We had a ball. Honestly, Charlotte might be America's best kept secret. And thanks to Game Time, we were able to enjoy some pretty awesome seats for an okay game, but that's not up to Game Time. This isn't like a, B-dubs you read here where they can alter the game for you. But make sure you get the best tickets, the best prices thanks to Game Time. Download the Game Time app, okay? Create an account and use code FalconsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code FalconsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All that information you need, by the way, is down in the comment section and the description of today's video. So, shout out to Game Time for making today's show possible. Let's get back to our depth charts, though, and kind of run through what starters we are going to see for Atlanta. And we move on to the offensive line, which has the 5 starters we have had penciled in for about a month now at this point, ever since Matt Hennessy went down at left guard. So Jake Matthews, Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarry are your 5 guys up front. And maybe the biggest question I have for all 22 starters going into week 1, well, maybe after Desmond Ridder, because that's still a big question mark for sure. But the next biggest question I might have is, how will the second-round pick Matthew Bergeron hold up in his NFL debut? He was drafted out of Syracuse, a guy that Atlanta moved up for in the draft, going to convert him from tackle to guard. He wasn't the starting guard his first day at Flowery Branch, but an injury kind of tossed him into that role. And is he going to be a fish out of water, or is he going to settle in quite nicely? And when you've got Jake Matthews to your left, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Falcons players of all time. And you got Drew Dahlman to your right, an average center. You've got some wiggle room, but you don't have a Pro Bowl center and a Pro Bowl guard to kind of pick up the slack for you and toss an extra hand into your B gap to make sure no one comes and bulldozes you. So Bergeron definitely has some eyeballs on him. Now, when it comes to Falcons game day, we have you covered, which is why you have to subscribe. Help us get to our next milestone, 13,500 subscribers. Are we 19 subs away? Come on, do us a big solid right now. And in return, you get free daily Falcons content. There's no other place on YouTube that is doing what we are. Moving on to the defensive side of the football now. On the D-line, Calais Campbell, David Onyemata, and Grady Jarrett. We all knew those 3 guys would be your 3 starters, and sure enough, they are your 3 starters up front. So I'm going to have a quick private conversation with these 3 guys and the rest of the pass rushers. Everyone else can leave the YouTube moment for a second here. I need 3 sacks minimum. This is not a request. This is not a favor. This is a demand. You need to get 3 sacks minimum on a rookie quarterback, Bryce Young, who will be inexperienced at climbing NFL pockets and reading pre-snap coverages, and against a below-average offensive line, in my opinion. So 3 sacks minimum for those 3 guys, and then the rest of this linebacker room for Atlanta, like Bud Dupree, Arnold Ebiketie, Malone, and Carter. Those guys are going to be in a deep rotation. Not one player is going to dominate and get 70 to 75% of the snaps. And so with that, Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis is coming off a 7-sack season. Those 2 guys can also sprinkle into some fun blitz packages that Ryan Nielsen will dial up. But who you got in this one? Falcons or Panthers? Let's start the year off on a high note. Let's go 1-0 here. Spam ATL if you're riding with me. Give me the Falcons all day long in this one. All right. With that being said, we've got some more depth charts to look over here on the defensive side of the football, like the cornerback group. A.J. Terrell, Jeff Okudah. I don't know, Jim. He didn't practice. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be ready to go by week 1. Dee Alford. You got Mike Hughes, Trey Flowers, and Clark Phillips. My suspicion is it'll be Terrell, Hughes, and Alford as your 3 starting cornerbacks. Okudah's status is definitely up in the air. So who's going to play that outside, a boundary opposite of A.J. Terrell? My suspicion would be Hughes. Fingers crossed that Okudah could be ready to play. But if not, it's not like they are going up against an elite wide receiver room. So with Bryce Young as a rookie quarterback and DJ Chark and Adam Thielen pushing 50 at this point, you can probably relax with maybe not having everyone play until they're really 100%. To pretty much round it out here, we go to the safeties now. Jesse Bates, first-year player, already a team captain, and Richie Grant are your 2 safeties. Jalen Hawkins and DeMarco Helms are the 2 backups. And as for the special team unit, you got Pinion, Youngwei Koo, and Liam McCullough as your, special teams guys. Which, by the way, last night I couldn't fall asleep. I listened to a 10-minute interview with Belichick asking about the special teams guys. It was absolutely mind-blowing as to how the long snapper position just evolved, but leave it to Belichick to talk about long snappers for 10 minutes. But are there any surprises on the week 1 depth chart? Is there anything you saw that you're like, I'm not going to lie, that one kind of threw me for a loop. I surely thought this guy would be ahead of that guy. I think it's relatively chalk-ish, minus our good friend Cordarrelle Patterson, who is the Joker. They just invented a new position for him, which is absolutely badass. So let me know. Outside of that, are there any other surprises that I'm missing that you picked up on? That's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone who takes some time out of their day to come hang out with producer Rolly and myself here at Falcons Today. We are going to sign off. We're going to see you guys later. Make sure to subscribe. Rolly keeps flashing that at the bottom to remind me. So help me out. Hit that sub button down below.